help us to use them wisely in the service of our town government. We ask this in thy holy name, amen. Salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'd like to welcome everybody here this evening. Public forum, would you, Mrs. Smith, I'm assuming?
Yes,
Would you like to address the board?
yes.
Okay, go for it.
What?
Yeah, pardon?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
You can address the board at this time if you'd like to.
My problem is I have a hearing problem since a child, so sometimes I don't always understand it.
Okay. You want to stand up? Be
Okay,
closer
sure,
to us,
that-
that's fine, or bring a chair up, either way.
Okay, I'll bring a chair up. Okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Great.
Okay.
Okay, I'm here because of, I'm receiving water bills,
Yes.
and it started because I had my first bill, and I didn't know, because I'm on a well, that I was supposed to, pay it, so I called. I think it's spoke with you, right?
You spoke to me more than once, yes.
Yes. And then I was advised that, even though it was on the well, that I had to pay $113 every quarter. So because of the new line and all that, so that was fine. And then I had, paid it a few times and then sort of questioned it. So then I called again to find out, that's when I found out, I think the second time I got it quarterly. So I said, well, if I'm gonna pay for it, I might as well have it connected. And so then, okay, I got it connected, but I wasn't told that I was gonna have to pay another fee. So that I would have to pay for the water, my usage, I didn't know that. So then I received another bill and I said, well, this is strange, and then I called and I found out that, but I had to call several times, I think you were very busy, before you even returned my call. So I called, I noted it all, I called several times, and found out that I had to pay for the water. So I said, well, that's kind of, that doesn't make sense to me, so I might as well go back on the well. Jolly Cur had came to connect it, which took a while, and I don't know, but he charged me over $200 to connect it. And I was surprised when he gave me a bill. It's in his name. And he connected it, that 200, he didn't do that much work for over $200. So I paid him with my check. And then when I found out, then I called and said, well, if I have to pay, then I found out I had also that to pay. And I said, well, then no, I'm gonna have it disconnected. So, fine, but that's when the problem came in, because I guess you were busy and you never called me back. I called 2 times and never got a response. Meanwhile, I'm getting these bills in for water. And when I called, you said that well, okay, fine, but why don't you want to be in the water? I said, well, I'm paying, I got $165. And the question was, why am I using so much water? It's because I have dog kennels. And they're kept very clean all the time. So there's a lot of water usage, to hose down the kennels daily. So it took quite a while. Apparently, you were telling, I think it was Jolly Cur to come, but I never got any response. I kept calling, and then you said, oh, he didn't come yet. I said, no. So I got to the point of asking if I could do it myself, because I didn't know if I had the right to do that.
What was you wondering yourself?
To have it disconnected, from the town back to my well. Because meanwhile, I'm getting billed,
Right.
and nobody's coming to put it back on the well. So Mary said, yes, I could do that. So I said, okay. It just happened I had some men that were working construction, doing some work, and I asked them if they could do it. And they said, yeah, sure, we know exactly what to do. So they did the piping, the blue pipes and everything, and they marked on it. And I don't remember, I think it was February, I don't remember exactly when it was done. So then I said, well, I got another bill. And I couldn't understand why I got this other bill. And he said, well, you're still on the town water. I said, no, I'm not. And I said, I invited you over to come and look at the pipes. And I followed the pipes in my basement, and I said, no, it's not connected to the outside at all. But apparently, Mike Doliker is still reading it as if I am connected. So I have all my bills here, and I have the dates and the times, the dates that I called, that it took so long for the procedure, and then he said it was reading from outside that I was using water. Now, the only thing I can say, which would have been my fault, I didn't think of it, that maybe in the interim of it being done, that there was water from prior to have been disconnected, that would have been on a bill. That could happen, okay? But I don't know when it stops and when it starts, so and I really didn't think of that before, I just thought of it actually a couple of days ago, I thought, well, that could be possible. So my thing is I'm paying now, my bill is up to over $400 with penalties and all. And I really don't think that I should have to pay all that, with so much going back and forth. I was not told, and that was my thing, I'm a senior citizen, I'm 77. I did not have any idea that I was supposed to pay for water, or I would never have it connected. I've been living here, since 1980, and never had any problems with the town or anything like that, and, I would have been, as long as I had been told, but I wasn't told, and that was no problem.
Julie, I want you to correct me if I'm right or wrong, okay? If I'm correct, the first quarter of this 2019, she did not pay the bill. And during the second quarter, sometime she had it shut off, or disconnected,
I got it here, because I printed them out.
okay?
Now, I got all of the bills here.
So it was disconnected sometime during the second quarter, I believe. So she owed us for the full first quarter and a partial of the second quarter.
Well, it looks like the first quarter, when she was billed, she had 12,000 gallons. Okay, so it wasn't paid, so then she got a penalty. So then the second quarter, there was 11,000 gallons used. So then that wasn't paid in the penalty. And then in the third quarter, there was no usage at all.
Right. So she had almost 2 full quarters. It was shut off sometime during the second quarter, I believe.
Because I paid for, what, was one that was 165?
Yeah, that was way, I think, way back.
A year.
when we were
That
talking
probably
about-
was the first, when it was
Yeah.
connected, the first bill that I got that I didn't know about.
2018.
And then it was supposed to be disconnected, and it wasn't, and that's when it went back and, I did make several phone calls before I even got very on the phone, and then you did call me back at one point, and that was the last conversation I had with you.
And I did call Mike Joliker, because you had told me you were wondering why you got this third bill, I guess it was. And I said, well, there's a reading on it.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you say that.
I did call Mike Joliker
Okay,
to check, because you said there was a reading on the meter, but it was disconnected, there was no reading. But it was left over from the previous 2 quarters,
what was left over?
the unpaid bill.
Well, that's the one I told you I wasn't paying, right?
You did tell me that.
Yes.
And I certainly, there's
Because
no way.
you were gonna talk to somebody, you were gonna take care of it, you were gonna send
But
Mike, and there was a lot of different
the-
conversations.
The meters, the 12,000 and the 11,000, I believe Julie just said, that water went through your meter and it was used by you,
Mhm.
okay? And that,
Well, yeah, as long as it was connected, it definitely was.
yes,
Yeah,
that water went through the meter, it was used by you, but it has not been paid for.
okay, okay.
That's all I can tell you, that's all I know,
Yeah, but because it wasn't disconnected, I kept calling you, and I said, I'm not paying it, because you're not responding, you're not calling me back, I kept calling you. And you didn't call me back, so I said, I did say, look, I'm not paying this, because you're supposed to send somebody over, and you're not. And finally, when I did talk to you, I asked you if I could do it myself, and this was after a
yeah,
while.
you can have,
Yeah.
you can do it yourself or hire it done, you can be disconnected.
Mhm.
And from that point
Because
forward,
I didn't go ahead and just disconnect it, because then I could have been in trouble for that. I didn't know.
no, you did speak to me before it was disconnected,
Mhm.
okay?
Yeah,
We can't tell people they gotta stay on the line,
right, yeah.
okay? But certainly you gotta pay your EDU bill,
Mhm.
the quarterly bill for that. And the
Well,
$25, Brian,
Even though you kept telling me that you were contacting, you were gonna send Dr. over, but you never did, I had to repeatedly call you And your words were, what, he hasn't gone there yet? Well, meanwhile, I'm still using the town water, because he didn't come, and he never did come.
The only water that you're being charged for is the water
Yeah, I
you,
understand that, we could go over this back and forth the same time, I understand
yeah,
that. But that's because he didn't respond to my phone call. And I left a message, I didn't just, telling you what it was, I said, he hasn't come yet.
and I really don't know what to tell you, other than the
Well, I
fact,
don't know who's in charge that can help me solve this problem.
I think, personally, I think part of the whole communication issue is that Mike Joliker, who's this very, very capable guy,
Mm-hmm.
he works for the village of Champlain, and he is contacted by the town to provide water services, and maybe sometimes there's a breakdown in getting to him. Maybe he can't get there because he's got more than a full-time job in the village, so that might be entered into this. Have you talked with anyone at the village office about Mike Joliker being available, or is that something? that's
No,
strictly
I just
comes
spoke to
through-
Larry.
I called Mike,
Okay,
I didn't know who else to do
Okay.
to contact. I
He-
mean, I always
he-
spoke to Larry.
he's my only
And
contact.
right.
Recently, I called Julie and spoke with her. Yeah, that's all. Okay.
but we've already paid the village for that water.
Yeah,
We pay our quarterly bills to the village.
yeah.
So what can I do about over $400 bills that I don't think I'm responsible for because I'm not getting response from the county?
You did receive and use the water for 2 quarters?
Pardon?
You did receive, according to our records.
I know, I'm talking about all these penalties. I mean, I
Oh,
got these
right.
things here.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, $25. I mean,
Well,
That's
that,
$25 is the service charge.
and then,
that's a
you know,
service charge.
Correct.
there's 2 different charges, the $25.
But she's still gonna have to pay that, Julie, in the future, I think.
Yeah, even because she's in the,
Yeah,
Yeah, you got $25 and $2.50, all the way down, then you got another 14, and then another 16, and it comes to $448.80, you know. I mean, I really don't think that's fair, because I did my best to communicate, to call, and not just let it go, I kept calling. And if you don't do your job, there's nothing I can do about it. I mean, I can't go over and say, hey, come, I invited you over to look at them, because you were a little like, you know, you weren't sure about that. I said, look at the connection. I mean, I looked at it myself, it definitely was disconnected.
well, it's a board decision, but we, the village, the town had to pay the village for that water. We were billed for that water, we had to pay it. And our only recourse is to collect or relevy it. Well, yes, I need some guidance then too.
You need what?
I just want the opinion of the board, what we should
Oh, I'm
do.
sorry, yeah.
Okay?
So if the meter is operating properly and the meter shows that the water was in fact delivered and
Yes.
used, then
But it was
I
supposed to
don't
be
see.
stopped.
It was supposed to be, but
Yes,
it
it was
wasn't. The
supposed to
fact that
stop
it
me
wasn't
because Larry
is.
didn't follow up. That was
Yeah.
not my fault. And I.
But you did
didn't know
use
what
the
to do.
water.
Pardon?
You did use the
I
water.
had, well, what was I gonna do? It was connected and nobody was responding to me to come and disconnect it. And he already knew that. And he didn't like call me back and say, did they go or didn't they go? I had to keep calling him and calling him. Well, what was I gonna do? I couldn't shut it off. Was I gonna do, just stop using water?
But if somebody called a municipality because they, for a different reason, say they were moving, and they said, I want my water shut off, wouldn't somebody go out there with a key and shut off the water?
Mike Joliker or Mickey would.
Yeah, that could have been done, but then you would have been out water, without water, totally.
Pardon?
You would have been out, if that was done, that could have been done very quickly.
They could do it, what, you mean, it
But if they
doesn't
did
take long.
that, they did that, they turned off the water, you would
Right.
have no water unless you then hired someone to come in and hook it up.
But he said that Mike was gonna come and do it. So why, if he's gonna come and shut it off, if he can come that quick and shut it off, it doesn't take long to reconnect it to the well.
Well,
We
that's,
could do that
that's
at
a
the same
different,
time.
that's, I think it's a different process.
Pardon?
Hooking it up to your well is a more involved process.
But there could have been somebody who called me back to explain something. They could have called me and instead of me constantly asking these questions, because this is what you do, is to say, look, you can disconnect it. Mike can't go, or he's busy, whatever.
Yeah.
and you can go ahead and do, but there was no communication. The only answers I got were questions that I asked, but no information for Larry.
We
which should have
certainly
been.
would not have shut the water off without her being reconnected to her well. That would have left her without water, okay? We would not have done that.
But if the homeowner who doesn't have a well requests to shut off my water because I'm moving, or I don't want to freeze up,
Well, we try to get there within a day or two to read the meter and shut our water off. If a homeowner's, quite often our rental, for instance,
right,
they're changing tenants,
okay,
they'll have the meter read
right,
the day that either one's moving out or the other's moving in.
yeah.
Read the meter, you don't even have to get out of the truck, they can read the
Correct,
meter.
but they could physically shut the water off separate from reading the
Well-
meter. That was a request.
And when she asked me if she could disconnect from the system, I said yes. And she hired it privately done. Mike didn't do that, or the town did not.
But Larry, you should have told me, when Mike Zolika wasn't coming, and you could have just said to me, look, I'm gonna try and get him, or whatever, but you have the
Well,
right
I
to do
certainly,
it yourself.
I certainly
Just like
connected with Mike.
When you told me that I could connect it on,
Okay.
you didn't say, well, it's gonna cost you extra, so you omitted to tell me those things. That's two things right there, that I would never had it connected, had you said, well, it's gonna cost you, and knowing that I have kennels, you know I raise puppies.
If we omitted the penalties,
Mhm.
would you pay the bill?
What is the bill?
Whatever it is, minus the
Well,
penalties.
I have so many different copies
It's-
here, but this is the one that,
It's $448.80,
Yeah.
and the penalties is $38.53.
So most of that is for water that
used-
wasn't
is a used
delivered
product.
and used.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, there's actually $100 on that bill is the service charge, on top of the usage.
There's a $25 quarterly service charge.
Yes,
So
so that's the service charge.
that's gonna have to be
and
paid in the
then-
future, Julie. That needs to be paid in the future. Brian, you were in on that one when we set that up.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember how we did that. At the time, it was for people that were hooked up to the system. If you weren't hooked, I don't believe, if they weren't hooked up to the system, I can't remember how that transpired, but do you remember,
Well, I send out bills to some people that don't have usage, and they get charged $25.
but they
But
are,
I
Quarterly.
they're
don't,
seasonal people maybe, or,
well, for instance,
That
one
was-
is, Dr. Southwick, I mean, I don't wanna mention names, but he's one, I mean, he gets charged, a service charge, $25.
For the garage that he owns on the
Yeah.
island.
So,
but he is hooked up to the system.
so he's hooked up. So if she's not hooked up, does she pay the $25?
Does he pay the 25? Yes, he does, right?
Yeah, but he's saying he's not hooked, or he's hooked. She's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
hooked. You're not hooked now, right?
no, it's been a while now, I haven't been hooked.
So should she even begin a bill at all? If she's not hooked?
I'm still getting these
Did Dr. Southwick got
$25.
usage,
Yeah.
water on that Route 11?
Well, he said he's hooked, but I don't, I don't.
I've been told 100 times that he is hooked
He's
up,
hooked up.
yeah.
The water was brought there.
Right.
The lawn.
Well, the water was
brought
posted,
there.
it had to be posted.
We've
because
had
of
others
that.
that where the water was.
The water that was hooked up,
Yes.
Yeah,
that's what I don't know. Whether he got a meter put on, I don't know. I know we brought the water up.
She's got, but
Brian, is
these
your
two
opinion that she should not have
$25.
I don't know if it was,
These
Ms. Calico
two
ever connected the water
Well,
meter to it.
I'd like to
Should
go
be
back and see what we decided on.
included,
I mean,
because she did
policy
have
needs to
usage.
be
yeah, that was the,
But these
Well,
a
that's
two
year
here,
ago or
Yeah,
so
more.
what I would say is we take.
$65.
That was probably a
that's
year
not,
ago.
that was from the 113.
You know, I should just say one thing.
I agree. I
And
think
that's
you
where
better just check the
I called
policy,
you.
and
Yeah.
whatever the policy says, that's what.
Calculate how much above and beyond the actual water use was occurred. And consider. figuring out-
You mean the penalty?
Okay,
Yeah.
so the penalty is $38.53.
Yes.
If if she's not supposed to be charged a service charge, it would be another $50 off that, so it would be $88.53.
Correct.
You subtract that from the 400.
And then you
Correct.
subtract that from the 440, 80,
8 is what I'm doing.
I think that sounds reasonable.
That sounds very fair.
88.53.
How do you feel about that?
I didn't quite understand it, I'm sorry.
What's that?
I didn't understand everything.
Okay,
So it'd be
we're talking
360,
about
27.
removing the penalty,
Mhm.
and we're talking about the feasibility of removing a service charge, and that adds up to around 80 something.
Yeah.
If you look at me, I can understand.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
448.
And then subtracting that from the total amount due, so actually what you would be paying for is the actual water
What,
used.
what the usage of water.
Does that sound fair?
I don't know, what is it?
So, so the amount, ma'am, would be $359.47,
That's ridiculous.
You did use that water.
but it's for, it's
No,
not for
I
the
shouldn't
service
have.
charges.
I don't know, everybody keeps going back, I used, yes, I know I used it, okay? But had Larry communicated with me, answered my calls, I would not have used that water, and that's my whole point. It's not like I kept calling and not getting a response, and you never called me back.
Well, I have called you back.
I have the dates of the time that I called you, okay?
You have the
You
times,
did not
but
call me back, and
Did you-
that's where the lack of communication.
did you keep track of the times I called you?
I think you called me twice. No, you didn't call me very often, no.
Okay, I guess what the board is offering you tonight is,
Right.
if we eliminate the penalties and the $25 quarterly charge,
Hmm.
will you pay for the water?
Well, yeah, but it's up to $300.
I understand that.
But I shouldn't have that, you know that. I mean, if you're honest and fair, you know that you are to blame for not
Okay.
telling me and not sending Mike over, or not at least contacting me and say, look, has he come yet? Go ahead, do it yourself. I could have done that day one had I known. I would not even have connected it had you just said, it's gonna cost you, you have to pay for the water. These are things that
So you have the
your job to tell
dates,
the people.
so Mrs. Smith, you have the dates and times that you contacted our supervisor?
There's some
Larry?
that I don't have, but yes.
Oh, there's
most
some
of
you
them
don't have.
I
Okay.
called Larry several times.
Okay, so do you have those dates?
Was connected, water, water, light, and basement, outside, and shower, so that was Tuesday, okay. And then, my paper.
Do you recall if
Well, I
these,
have July 15th here,
okay,
when I called him, and that was after the fact,
Okay.
oh, here it is. April 11th, spoke to Larry.
April 11th?
For charge to meter water, see next page. Water line, something was this February, water line was connected, was reconnected to the well in February. And
A lot of water.
this was the second time, this I'm going backwards actually, this is the second time that the water was to connect the water. Called Larry to disconnect the water from the town, this was the second time.
And that was what date, ma'am?
Spoke to Larry April 19 after many phone calls since received the bill. He did not return my call. Okay, till today, 4/11. Okay, so I mean, I don't have all the dates, these are part of the date. So I did call him several times, I know he
Call
was
back
here,
in 2 days.
and he never, I mean, these are the times, and some of the times I called him, I spoke to you on July 15th. Yeah. I mean, I don't really think it's fair that being a senior citizen, and even if I wasn't, that an individual working for the town, as long as you have been, to not tell a person that, hey, you wanna get connected, fine, but don't forget it's gonna cost you some money. I mean, I've been on my well since I've been there in 1980, why would I be, silly to just go ahead and get disconnected, have to pay, if it doesn't make sense?
Was your well water good?
Absolutely.
Why did you hook up?
I hooked up because I was paying, I got the bill for $113, okay, which I didn't expect. I didn't know that I was gonna be paying for the new pipeline and water pipes, okay? So I got this, and I think I got maybe, because sometimes you get things, I'm sure we all do, and you don't, oh, what's this, oh, it's from the town, okay, I pay it, put it in the file, and think about it. But when I realized, what am I getting these bills for? That's when I called, Larry said, well, because you have to pay for the new pipes. The pipes, everybody pays their share. Well, I said, but I'm not connected, I'm not using your water, why should I have to pay for that? And he said, yes, you have to. And I said, well, okay, then if I'm gonna pay this, connect me. Why should I pay this and not use the damn water? And then I got, fine, you wanna be connected, okay. Instead of being told, well, we'll connect you, that's fine, but you're gonna be paying, especially when I have kennels. I mean, I use a lot of water. You know,
Yeah.
if I, you know, if I was somebody who didn't care what it looked like, but I mean, my kennel, you can go by any time of the day, any time of the day, and you'll never see it, never. It's, dogs go out, picked up immediately, everything is clean. So, yes, it takes a lot of water. So I'm saying, I did my thing of calling several times and not getting a feedback from it. I really don't think I'm responsible to pay this.
So do you have any record, ma'am, of any calls after April 19th?
Oh, yeah, well, April, May, June, yeah, it was,
I have called back more than once, I know that. I did not keep track of dates. Paper trail, I guess,
It's just,
July
it's
15th,
miscommunication.
Well, it's-
July 15th.
She didn't realize
So not
that.
until
She
July
was gonna
15th.
That was another call. That call
Which is the third quarter.
Well, I don't know.
So we're saying there was
But
no
that
usage in
was
the
called
third quarter,
April.
but there was usage in the first and second
Yes.
quarter.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, but I
So-
called him April, I called him at these different points. But
Right.
he wasn't, I wasn't talking to him, I was calling him, I wasn't talking to him. So I kept calling him. So, I mean, I certainly did make several phone calls. Called, you know, and he never, I think twice I spoke to him. That's all.
We need to settle this tonight, this need not go on forever. I know we have to pay for the water, that's all I can tell you. And we did pay for the water. Our bills are up to date with the village. And we are, from what I'm gathering, the consensus is to forgive the late penalty fees and,
Forgive the late penalty fees, that's correct. Yep.
okay?
How about the service charge also?
And the service charge for the $50, so, and that's where, you know, your $448 bill, ma'am, is $359.47.
I would, I
Product
feel
delivered.
that's fair,
Yeah,
effective, simply because the water was delivered.
and it was used, correct.
And after the 15th of this, can you hear me now, okay?
Okay,
After the 15th of this month,
yes.
if it's not paid, we have to re-levy it through the county.
So what, you're gonna charge me for it? Is that what you're saying? You're gonna charge me for something that's actually your fault?
We're
It is your fault,
we're
whether you know
gonna,
it.
we're considering charging you only for the water that
That
was
I-
delivered and you did in
That's
fact
right,
use.
that I was not supposed to
But
get
you did
because
use that water.
Larry didn't do his job.
Oh.
Larry did not do his job. I did. He didn't respond. I could not disconnect the water until I asked him if it was okay. If I had have known, I wouldn't have had it connected. If I had have known, I would have had it disconnected myself a lot sooner.
Is that what you thought?
So yes, I
You didn't
used the
pay for
water because I didn't have any connection
Okay.
with the town. And I certainly did call several times, more, I mean, I'm not talking I called once or twice or 3 times, many times. And then, as you said, Mike never showed up, I called him, he never showed up. And then, oh, I'll look into it, but meanwhile, I'm stuck paying these bills because there's no communication, I mean, I don't follow that. That's not my fault. And it's not my fault that I wasn't told that I was gonna pay for water when I have a very good well that I have no problem with since 1980, I bought the house. And my husband died and he left me in a dilemma and I paid for that house myself when I was left broke, nothing, in debt. So I don't think that I should have to pay this now. I have a business, I've had a business since 1990, May of 92. And I supported myself since then. And now I'm at an age that I'm losing. And I'm going downhill because I can't keep up with everything. I can't groom and I can't board dogs and train dogs and breed dogs when I'm all alone, just me. I just can't, so I have to cut back, I have already, and that's gonna be tough. And maybe you won't have me living here, you might have to sell my house, which I sure as heck not going to if I don't have to. So this is a big bill for me to pay. And I work from 6, 7 o'clock in the morning till 10, 12, and 1 o'clock in the morning, 7 days a week, okay? 7 days a week. I don't go anywhere, I've never been on one vacation since my husband died in 91, not
She
one.
paid bills on
Not even a
2018
weekend.
before these, those in question. Okay. It's up to the board.
I would say that, you know, we have dropped the bill down as much as we could,
We're just taking penalties off,
the penalties and the service charge, so,
well, the penalties and insurance, right, yeah.
yeah, so,
But the usage of water that I shouldn't have, that I should not have had to use is not there.
you use the water, that's what it comes down to.
Well, of course they use the water. What else could I do?
And
Nobody came to shut it off, nobody shut it off, nobody was connected. What, I can't shut the water off myself. I could not, I would not venture
The first
to
bill.
call somebody and say, come and reconnect that to my well, and then maybe get in trouble for that. Because I didn't know if I had the right to do that. So I waited until I heard from them.
But you did ask me if you could disconnect, and I told you yes.
Yes, and that's when I did.
So let's say.
That's when I did, not before that.
I'm having a very difficult time understanding why you hooked up to the water well,
You're having
the
difficult
water
time
service, and
understanding
you
that?
had an excellent water service in your well.
No, I don't think so. I think you explained it perfectly well. Because when I spoke to Larry, you know, because of the $113, and then I said, well, if I'm paying for that,
Right,
Okay.
It should have been
If I'm
made very
paying for
clear to you
that,
that was
then-
only a service that.
but I didn't know that. That's what I
Okay.
said.
Yeah,
I
I think
didn't
that may
know
be the
that.
root of the
That was Larry's cue to say to me,
No.
well, if you get hooked up, we can do it, but you're going to have a fee, and he knows I have kennels. He knows I would use a lot of water for that. But nothing was mentioned of another bill. And then immediately when I got the bill, or maybe it was the second bill, I questioned it, and that's when I called, and from then on, there was just no connection, for all that period of time, which you're saying that I need the water, well, yes, because there's no communication, he wasn't calling me back.
But he did call you back at least twice.
Well, he called me back after I used all that water, of course. But why didn't he call me, why didn't he say it in the beginning, okay? Just look, Mike is busy, he can't come.
Am I correct?
But-
Please correct me if I'm right or wrong.
It goes out.
You thought that if you connected, you wouldn't have to pay for the water?
Absolutely. Why would I know? Nobody, I was paying the bill.
And then the
Why would I
first
know?
quarter was-
Why, how would I know, okay, that I am going to pay for the water,
Why?
when I'm thinking that I'm paying $113 for it?
That's why
I'm a city girl, okay? I've never had a well, I've never had any of this, okay? This is all
That's
new to
why,
me.
that's why we put meters on households, so we know how much water they use, so how much we can charge them.
No usage.
Fine, but I don't know that.
Okay,
Just for this
I think we need to come to some type of resolution.
This
That's
cost.
carried forward.
Well, I'm willing to make a motion to try and help as much as we can, that the lowest amount we can go is the $359.74. And if not paid by the end of the week.
How much, 300?
$359.74.
So you just keep going back to the same thing, I'm getting absolutely nowhere. I
No,
mean, we're doing all of this and going on and going on, it's just a mad circle, and nobody's saying anything except you're gonna pay that $300
It was lowered
I mean, it's not
over
logical.
$100. It was lowered over $100.
With that,
It was lowered over $100.
for what? Meaning taking the penalties off?
Yes.
Well, that's not, that's not right.
Are we in a mode right now where a motion can be made and seconded, or do we have to go into, go out of the public forum?
No.
If we do go back into a
Had,
portion of
had
our
Larry
meeting where a
responded to
motion
me
can be made, I
in the
would second
beginning
what
when I
I've just
called,
heard.
okay,
We're
when I
not
got
in
the
executive
bill
session
of
right now.
$165, I
We
wouldn't have
need
that
motions
bill.
in public
But
forum.
he didn't do his
Do it in a
job.
second.
That's simple. but I'm still held responsible because Larry didn't call me back and let me know. I called right away, I didn't wait until that bill was up there to start doing something about it.
But you
So
still,
there's no but, there's no
I
buts
mean-
anymore, that's fact. Okay,
Mhm.
that is fact,
but it,
but
until you
I
pay
used the
that
water
amount.
because Larry didn't do his job, that's why. He did not return my call. Larry, if you didn't have the time, you could have asked Julie, you could have asked somebody else, say, take care of Mrs. Smith.
Did I ever call you back?
After, this is why I'm in this problem right now. Well, of course you did, it's not funny,
I understand.
it's not funny, okay? You could have asked somebody else, okay? Look, Mrs. Smith doesn't want the water, she's getting these bills, can you take care of it for me? Okay?
If you made a
That would have been
motion,
easy.
Yeah, I'll make continue my motion.
Okay.
To the finality that we forgive the quarterly service charge and penalties, which brings the total water bill to $359.74,
It's 47.
47.
47,
Yeah.
$359.47.
okay,
And,
I will second that motion.
okay. And just to remind, if it's paid by the end of the month, it doesn't go on your taxes to the county.
15th.
On the 15th of November.
Yeah, that's
And-
that's
and
Friday,
if we-
by the end
right.
of the week, the end of the week. It-
Otherwise,
it-
if
it
we-
won't
If
go
we
on
don't
your
turn it back
taxes.
over to the county, we lose it,
Right.
Right. And we have to pay up front.
and we already paid the bill.
Well, that's not my fault, because you made here. So I'm being penalized because you didn't do your job. That's not fair, Larry.
And you're using
That's
something
not
that
fair.
you
The
didn't pay for.
$300 is not fair. I should not have had that, okay? Had you recalled me and did it in the beginning, before I used that water, okay? So nobody's really doing anything. You're taking off a penalty, big deal.
And
You
the
keep
service
telling me I used the water. I didn't want the water. I wasn't told in the beginning, I don't think people understand that. I did not want it in the beginning, had Larry said, look, you're gonna pay for this water if I connect you. I was not told that. And then when I wanted to disconnect it, look how long it took me. Look how long it took me, is that my fault? That nobody showed up or nobody called me?
Because she didn't finish the second quarter. I've made a motion,
I second the motion.
seconded,
Okay?
and
I call the question.
Yes. Any other comments? I think we should have a roll call vote. Rick,
Aye.
Brian,
I,
Clark,
Aye.
Jason?
Well, of course, they're all gonna go together. That makes
Well,
sense.
I just
We're
don't
trying to
understand how
compromise.
you could have thought that you didn't have to pay for the water.
Well, it's simple. It's simple. Why would I think it? Why? I mean, I lived I lived in a big city, for God's sakes. I come down here and I have a well, and I know, oh God, I have a well, this is gonna be a problem and all. And then all of a sudden you put some new pipes in and now we're getting these bills. And I called you and you didn't say anything. You didn't say anything in the beginning, you didn't say anything in the end. You didn't say that you're gonna pay for it, and then you reneged on sending somebody or following through that I end up with a bill like this, okay, of the usage, which I got a well sitting there that I could have told me right in the beginning, Larry. You could have told me right in the beginning, and if you didn't, you could have told me when I called you the first time to say, wait a minute, I'm gonna get it reconnected. You said, oh, you wanna reconnect it? You would have supplied. Yeah, why am I paying this money? Now look how long, I had to do it myself. And now I'm responsible for paying $300?
That was the action of the board tonight, that we remit the.
Well, one says yes, and then they all say yes, and I don't think that's fair. I've been here once before, and you know that, okay, and I got the same response.
You've been here before?
I've been to, yes, it was you sitting there when I was gonna build a building for my kennel. And, my next door neighbor, who fell asleep during the meeting, because he was my neighbor, he didn't want it. Well, I mean, it was obvious that I wasn't gonna get
Well,
anywhere.
I'm
He was
assuming
the
that must-
the code officer.
Yes, but that must have been either a planning or a zoning board meeting, right?
Yeah, well, I'm not saying here,
I was not on those meetings. I do not chair the planning or zoning board meetings.
well, who was there then?
There's a
Larry
different group of people.
No, they're individual boards.
It's a
That was
separate board, ma'am.
way back when
Before I got here?
Yeah, when I first started, that was when George Ducharme was code officer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's before my time then, I had nothing to do with that, I wasn't even here.
19 years ago.
Meyer, I thought it was
Yes,
Meyer.
I've been here
Yeah.
14th year as supervisor and 2 years as a councilman, so it's more than 16 years then. Okay, I was not here.
Right.
I do not share those meetings.
Well, I mean, it went the same way as this, unfortunately. I
Okay.
mean, everybody sort of
Okay.
agreed, and I had people that I knew, and they sort of looked at me and shook their head like, and they said I also. And they did not agree, but, well, we gotta follow through. I mean, that's not right.
Okay.
That's not right.
Okay. I feel for you, I don't know what to do about it other
Feel
than.
for me for what, $300, Larry? If you feel for me, then knock it off.
You want me to pay the bill?
Sure. Why
I'm not
not?
paying your bill, you use the water.
You come back to the same thing. And you know that it's not right. Any of you know that's not right. Because I used the water because you didn't follow through on your side of it. That's why I
Okay.
used the water. Okay? What was I gonna do? Not use the water, not use anything until you decided to get Mike Jonathan or whoever to come over? I had to use water, whether I had dogs or not. I had to use water for myself. So of course I had to continue using the water. That doesn't make sense.
Okay.
So how about changing your vote? I mean,
But you did save money, you didn't have to run the well.
What's that?
You didn't have to run the well. And electric off that, less wear and tear on your pump. I mean, there was some kind of benefit to
Oh,
the
come
cost
on.
of it.
That's exaggerating, please. I mean, you're finding every little point you can, and the wear and tear on my pump is gonna be really that bad,
Get a pressure tank.
okay? It's not gonna cost what it's costing the water, definitely not, not even close to it.
And if the power goes out, you still have water. There are certain
No.
benefits. Yes.
So what? That's
Well,
just fishing, that's fishing for
That's not
whatever you
fishing,
can get.
those are the facts, and you also have better fire protection. These are just things
That's,
that,
okay, that's not even logical. I mean, I'm a logical, I'm a common sense person, that's not, okay? If I'm gonna have a water problem that I would have dealt with it, but it would not have cost me that. And that's only if, we don't deal with ifs, okay?
If
don't
you
need
have
it.
to replace a pump and or any parts of your water system,
Why would I have to do that?
because if you have a well,
Yeah,
you have to pay for that. When they come in and change your pump or your pressure tank or fix your line,
why would you do that?
because they don't last forever.
I've been there since 1980, I think I know it by now.
Well,
I've changed it once,
usually the
And
longer.
I just have a new one in there,
Okay, so you just put a
not
new.
long before this happened,
Okay,
it's
that
a
would
new
have
one,
been, yeah. But
okay?
that's probably one of the factors that made you want to go to the town water system.
No, not at all. The fact of, why is it that people make up things that I say? Okay? No, I repeat it, I want it only because of the bill that I got, okay? That is the reason. So all you're saying is just, it's just like, what can I say to please this lady, basically? Okay, and what can I do that's gonna make it better, that I'm okay? You're not right, none of you are right, I'm sorry, okay? But you don't care, do you, Larry? You just, so,
It's
okay.
not a matter of caring, now, we paid for that
It's
water.
$300 that I don't have. And then you're gonna put it on my bill, my tax bill that I'm paying $4,000 for?
Mrs. Smith, I guess the only question I would end with is saying when you resided in the city and you received water, did you pay for that water?
We're going back to the same thing.
No,
I
no,
know
but
what
did
you're
you
saying.
pay
Of
for
course
the
I paid
water
for
in the
the
city?
water.
Okay, and so you knew there was a cost for the water. It's the same thing here.
Well, I didn't know that because I didn't have a well when I lived in the city. I was using their water. I never thought about, oh, gee, let me think of this now. No, I'm sorry, I didn't. I was raised for years in the city, so I certainly didn't think of that. Okay, I get connected. I mean, I wouldn't be here if I thought that. I wouldn't be here. I'm not making up stories.
And nobody's saying you are.
No. But no, to come up with something like that, that doesn't, I mean, you're just fishing for whatever you can to make it right in your eyes, and that's not fair. That's not fair. Now I'm stuck with a bill of $300, $300 what? What do you knock off? I mean, where's that gonna leave you?
With a bill to be paid either by the end of the week or it goes on your taxes. That's where it leaves you.
Yeah, so that, exactly. So I still have to pay it one way or another, that's what you're saying. okay?
But
You don't pay it, then
trying-
it's going on your house
Yes,
tax.
and we tried to lower it as much as we could.
No, you can lower it more than that if you want to, definitely, okay? Because you're blaming me for Larry, or the town, or whatever you wanna say it, for their error, not for my error, okay? I definitely called several times, okay, but I got no response. And I can sit here and I can talk all night if you guys want to, okay?
We
And I
have a
don't think
public
it's gonna
hearing at
change
7:30.
anybody's opinion, okay?
We're past our public hearing at 7:30 for the budget. We need to go on with that.
No kidding. You're the one that caused it all, Larry, okay?
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, ma'am. I can't imagine anybody thinking they're gonna get to water not having to pay for it.
Well, I guess if you were raised in the country, maybe you would think that, but I wasn't,
Okay,
okay?
I understand.
And you were surprised when I said, oh, you wanna have it connected? I said, yeah, but if I'm paying for it, that was my word, if I'm paying for it, I might as well use the water. So you, at that point, should say, well, yes, you're paying back there, but you're gonna have another bill, which you omitted to say.
Okay.
Hey. I'd
Yes,
like to make a motion that we end the public forum and go back into regular session.
I second that.
okay. All in favor?
Time.
Opposed, carried, thank you.
We're just doing a budget hearing.
I'm sorry?
We're doing a budget hearing.
That means I should leave, right?
No, you're welcome to stay.
Right?
You're welcome to stay.
No, you just want me to just
No,
accept
we're-
no,
the
ma'am.
decision that you
We're,
all
we're
made.
finished, we're finished with your issue.
That's what you're saying, yeah.
Yes, but we're gonna deal with some other stuff that you're welcome to hear if you'd like to stay.
I have no really interest in that, because I don't think any of you people were fair with me, okay?
I'm
And
sorry
I
you feel
don't
that
think
way,
that
but we
anybody
have to
really,
move
really
forward.
cares. You bring the people in here
We have to
that
move
have been
on.
living here for years, that pay taxes, never caused a problem, never had any issues, okay?
Okay,
And this is what you do to me? No. No. That's not fair. So good night, gentlemen, and I hope you all
Good
sleep
night.
well, and I'm sure you will.
I made a motion to go into public hearing for to discuss our 2020 budget.
I make a motion that we go into public hearing to discuss the 2020 budget.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Pass. You got the,
And read the notice.
yes.
Notice is hereby given that the preliminary budget for the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2020 has been completed and filed in the office of the town clerk at Champlain, New York, where it is available for inspection by any interested person at all reasonable hours. Further notice is hereby given that the town board of the town of Champlain will meet and review said preliminary budget and hold public hearing therein at the town office in Champlain, New York on Tuesday, November 12th, 2019 at 7:30 p.m. And at that such hearing, any person may be heard in favor of or against any item or items therein contained pursuant to section 113 of town law. The proposed salaries of the following town elected officials are hereby specified as follows.
That's fine.
Supervisor, 19,000, council members, 4 at $6,150. Town clerk, tax collector, $29,078.96. Highway superintendent, $19,503 for elected. Working superintendent, $41,766.51. Notice is also given that the regular town board meeting will be held immediately following the budget hearing by the order of the town board.
Thank you. Sarah, did you have, sheets in our packet, is it, on the,
Yes.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is.
They're in there.
so. We get it today too.
It was at the end where it was the last thing. Right
Yeah,
there.
I got it. Okay. not exceed tax cap. We came under the cap this year, the first time in a few years, I don't know exactly how many, okay? At the very bottom of the page,
Mhm.
you see 2020 compared to 2019, the tax levy is roughly $55,000 less. Total budget, $1,291,000. Last year it was $1,323,000, okay, in odd dollars, okay? So, we've done a very fine job, I believe, of putting a budget together. The tax rate has gone down. 240 something last year, Sarah, you got that right in front of you? The rate is down.
Right, last year was $2.45.
And this year's 226,
Yes, sir.
so we're actually, down 18, roughly 18, 19 cents, okay?
Can you,
Pardon?
somebody tell me where we've cut back so that we're spending less projected this coming year?
It's not that we're spending less, but the assessments went up, so that's helped immensely.
The assessment went up,
All the assessments went up,
Everybody's assessment went up.
So the tax rate, that was right.
yes.
Yeah. We are gonna maintain and collect it, you know, what we need to do business every day,
right?
okay? So some people will see a slight increase in their taxes, even though the rate is down. It's very possible they'll see a slight increase in their taxes, but the rate is down,
Yes.
but their assessments are up, okay?
This is happening at a good time, given the fact that the fire department is gonna be a bump there in taxes.
Next year, I don't believe it was this year, am I correct?
That's what yes.
Next year will be the first increase
Right.
on the tax, this year somewhere's, I thought I seen that right here, Sarah.
Campbell, it's up,
The EMS,
yeah, the EMS in the fire district.
if you go down to the very bottom, last year it was 177. This
Yes.
year it's 193.
That's EMS,
that's
fire
EMS.
district.
Fire district,
It was up above,
411.
Yes,
411, now it's 246.
That's the assessed value that the
Correct.
411 was coming out of.
so actually your fire district is almost 3/4 of what your town tax is,
Right.
okay? And it's a very needed service, I have no problem with that. Same thing with EMS.
Almost above that road.
Actually, the EMS and the fire district together has a higher, them two together is higher than our town tax rate. Am I correct, Rick?
Yes.
Okay. We have come up with different ideas to save money next year. Several items that few thousand each, 4,000 or 5,000 each sometimes, and they all add up after a while, okay? We got one today, we think it's gonna come about, it's gonna save us around $300 a month. When that's finalized, I'll update you on that. I think it's a very good budget. Does anybody have any questions on the budget itself? Okay, it does, Alan, it does allow us for a new truck next year, if I'm correct?
Yep.
Okay, we try to buy a truck, our truck life is roughly 10 years. We try to buy one every other year. We have 5 trucks, and it seems to have worked fairly well in the past, okay? We got one more payment next year, is it, or 2 on the,
For the truck that we just bought, we have 3 payments left.
oh, right, we just bought one, that's right.
Yes.
Okay.
The loader has 2 payments.
Okay,
remaining,
that's all factored in,
yes.
the money's there for that. Um,
Question.
Yes.
You told me the other day that we tucked away about $5,000 for parks.
yeah, we do have,
Okay.
yes,
So
go ahead.
I'm looking at this, and I see items dealing with playground. Playground payroll.
That's for like lawn mowing and, stuff like that.
And then playground capital is 0 there. And then playground contractual potty/lawn. Now,
But
is that the 5,000?
the payroll is like when Robbie was doing it, Robbie would help Alan, because he's on our payroll, he has to be put in payroll.
Right.
The potty/lawn would be the porta potties for, Perry's Mills, and then next year would be also Bodvin. And then also, like when Alan does the lawns for, like playgrounds.
But there's 0 in there for capital.
Right, capital means like big equipment, like,
Means any
playground,
equipment.
well, playground equipment or anything like that, big dollar, and we don't plan on any of that next year.
Well, earlier I spoke to you about the feasibility of spending some money into the further development of Bodvin Park, which maybe start with the parking lot development.
But that was $650. So yes, that's incorporated in that potty, lawn mowing.
That wouldn't come under capital?
It's all the parks.
Yeah, it's all parks. Capital normally means big dollar items, like equipment or playground equipment.
Like what we've been putting in Perry's Mills is smaller. Right, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
That would be more capital.
Right.
So it's kind of like the exercise equipment that the Village of Rouse's Point put in at their recreational park.
Where did that used equipment went?
Oh, no. Good
well,
question.
the last I heard was that, they were advised not to,
Because of liability?
liability,
That's what I
older
wondered.
equipment couldn't be reused without a major problem. That was what I heard, I don't know if it, you know, they didn't wanna take the chance.
Yeah.
So that equipment is in that 5,000 then?
The equipment, like the driveway and stuff, yes. We came up with, I believe, Clark, when you put in your amount, I think it was like $650 to do,
$650 for a parking lot?
but Alan was gonna help us with it, so it was gonna reduce.
Crushed stone.
Yeah.
Okay, that's another issue. That's all right, don't do that. Let's leave it alone.
Calvin,
And I'm gonna,
didn't you have something planned for that? You and David Patrick, wasn't there something you guys were working on, put in the park?
Just historic signs.
No.
I think what we really need is an overall proposed plan for that park for the next 5 to 10 years. And you're gonna see the big ticket items there, and then we can begin to figure out which one we're gonna go after, which one to go after first. Calvin's mentioned a sign. We talked about a parking lot. I guess I'm really looking for an overall plan to enhance the one we already have. We don't have that yet.
And the committee that's
I'm
made
looking
up
for
of,
that.
that's
I'm looking
deciding
for-
on this, you're looking for
I'm
volunteers?
looking for an interest in the committee that wants to get together and help develop that.
Okay.
I don't wanna wander around the closet by myself.
Hopefully so.
Okay. Any other questions?
Okay, well said.
Public. Just wondering, is the Wyeth evaluation been kicked into the current budget, or is that something that'll hit us next year, or has it gotta be, why if the assessment's gotta have gone down,
It has.
is that
It's gone
is that
down.
in this budget, or is that gonna be hitting us next year?
We got hit last year a little bit. I believe we got hit again this year. It's whatever is standing at March 1st. That's when the assessment roll starts, okay? We'll be taking a further hit.
Yeah, so it was August
It
before
didn't come
the,
all in 1 year, let's put it that way. It's over a 3 or 4 year process, okay? You're absolutely right. We've had, I can think of 4 new homes going up this year. 2019 will be on the tax roll next year. Hopefully, 4 new homes. We have a new building going up on Route 11. Will not be in place by March 1st, so that'll come on the tax roll the following year. So I do see some growth. Slow and easy is better than, okay, I don't think we'll ever see another $25 million assessment like Wyatt had. I don't ever believe that'll ever happen again down in Champlain, at least not in the foreseeable future, okay? Yeah, we can take a hit there. And when you take a hit, everybody takes a hit, the village, the town, the county. It was a huge hit, okay?
yeah, school district, the school district takes a hit,
School district probably took a bigger hit.
our sales tax money takes a hit, because that
Yes,
lowers our
that's
percentage we get.
Although, I do believe we're ahead a little bit this year so far, Sarah, on sales tax revenue
Yes.
from what we projected last year. And I believe they're even projecting, what, 6% higher next year. Okay? Which, sales tax in the past few years since I've been here, 15 years or so, has steadily gone up. I think we had 1 year that was hardly any movement, but other than that, we've gained almost every year on sales tax money. Okay. Lots got to do with the sale of big ticket items, you know. And gasoline's a big thing
That's a big
in town of Champlain for certain, you know.
Well, it doesn't matter where it's spent.
Uh,
Wherever the sales tax money comes in the county, it's shared by
The whole county,
the whole county
Well-
based on your assessment.
yes,
So it doesn't matter where the sales tax money came in, whether it
No.
came in Plattsburgh
you're absolutely
or
true.
Champlain.
If I'm correct, I don't have the figure right in front of me, it's over $600,000 a year, Sarah, that we get for sales tax money from the county, and on a quarterly basis, we get it. And
Next year's sales tax is $647,000.
647, that's the estimate. Usually the fourth quarter is the highest one of the 4 quarters of the year, Christmas spending and everything else, okay? So, sales tax is very important to the towns. Okay, very, very important. We just got a sales tax, a check, past month for $20-some thousand for mortgage tax, the county shares with the towns. We get 2 checks a year, so that should average about $40,000 a year, mortgage tax. We get part of that back. State municipal aid has gone down, I believe. The governor cut on that one. But I think we're doing fairly well with income. We're trying to keep expenses down. Okay. Anybody else have any other questions on the budget? I'd like a motion to approve the budget.
We're gonna,
Pardon?
hearing. We're gonna close the public hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. I need a motion to close the public hearing.
I make a motion, to close
Thank
the
you.
public hearing.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried, thank you. Now I'd like a motion to approve the budget as presented.
I'll make a motion to adopt the budget currently presented
Thank you,
for the public
I'll
hearing.
second that
thank you.
and thank the lady who prepared the budget.
Any other questions on the budget? If not, we'll have a roll call vote, please.
Aye.
Thank you, Rick. Brian?
Aye.
Clark?
Aye.
Jason?
Aye.
And I am myself, thank you. Okay. Need a motion to approve last month's minutes of October 8th. Would someone would like to make a motion?
I wasn't here. I can't make a motion.
You wanna read it first?
You, go ahead. I assumed you, because you weren't here for the whole meeting.
I wasn't here, so I'm
Yes,
not
I
going to
understand.
make a motion.
I understand. I totally understand.
I'll make a motion to accept the meetings in the October 8th meeting.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any questions or concerns about the minutes? We'll have a roll call vote, only because I know one will probably abstain. Am
I will
correct?
abstain.
Okay, Rick abstains. Brian,
Aye.
on the minutes. Clark?
If I abstained also, you still do go past?
Yeah.
I'll vote for
You abstain?
it. No, I voted yes.
Oh, you voted for him.
I just asked a question.
Do whatever you want. Jason?
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Okay. Town clerk's monthly report. We need a motion to approve. Looks like there was some activity this month, or last month, I should say, past month.
I'll make the motion to approve. the town
Thank you.
clerk's
I'll
monthly
second that.
Thank you. Any other questions on the town clerk's monthly report? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's also carried. The JCO report. The activities there. Please read them. You have your planning board minutes. Okay. Please read those. We got a letter from Kimberly Davis, the county treasurer, pertaining to the land bank. They are gonna send us something on that, and I did get a email today. They're looking for a representative from the town of Champlain to be on that board. Do I have a volunteer?
From volunteer,
Well,
I'd be happy to serve that if it's,
Oh, you initiated.
well, I was involved in the
Correct.
first meeting, and I'm very
Correct.
interested in pursuing that.
okay. I will recommend that, if that's okay with the board.
Now, they did ask about a number of zombie properties within inside the town. I mean,
We have done that.
we have done that, great.
Well, when you say zombie properties, they can include vacant properties.
Correct.
That may be up to code, but houses or buildings that are not being used.
Right,
And I believe there was over 50,
there are.
yes.
Okay.
So those
Mickey?
buildings are buildings that may be acquired or captured and put back online and
Yes.
productive. They don't have to be
Uh,
buildings destined for this.
Nikki, Tetro, and Tim Sapinski
Yeah.
compiled that list. I have seen it, I don't have it with me tonight,
Okay.
but there is over 50. The Second Amendment for the intermunicipal agreement, I would like to discuss that in the executive session. Now, the West Service Road. Here somewhere, I hope. We need to close out the project, we need to borrow a little over $46,000. That is the total commitment on the part of the town for the whole West Service Road Sewer District. Over 90% of this project has been funded, although we haven't got the money from the state yet, but it's been funded. I expect that fairly soon. I've been saying that for several months. I would like a motion to approve borrowing 46,000, you got the exact figure?
Can I give mine?
You got it.
Okay.
It is $46,111.
Yes, for a 5-year loan.
Yep.
From Champlain National Bank with an interest rate of 2.4%. Okay? We're also gonna, tonight I need the motion to approve that, but we need to discuss how we're gonna bill the property owners. And we thought we were gonna be able to use what they call an ad valorem, which means they add it onto their town taxes in the wintertime. We found out today, for some reason, we cannot do that. It's called a benefit district, am I correct?
Yes.
Sarah was in on that phone call today with us. She made the call. It's all commercial, there's no residential on that property, on that road, on serving that district. So I think I'd like to go ahead and pass a resolution tonight for the loan portion of it. $46,111 for a 5-year loan at 2.4% interest. How we are gonna bill it, we're gonna have to wait till next month. We were in contact today with the Association of Towns, and we are not able to use ad valorem. We're gonna have to come up with some formula that people are charged according to the benefit that they obtain from the project. For instance, there's a vacant lot up there, with nothing on it. Certainly is not gonna pay as much as somebody with a $2 million assessment on the property. It's what benefits the district.
So it would almost be like an EDU charge concept.
Yeah, I don't know if that would be the proper term, it might be. I'm supposed to have a call tomorrow afternoon, or tomorrow sometimes with the engineers and the state representative for the new state inspection, truck inspection station, to see what portion, or, I don't have a value on their, or how much water they're gonna be using or anything yet. So we gotta settle that, hopefully tomorrow. Probably won't be, but we're gonna try. And engineers, and maybe even attorneys, need to figure out benefit ratio, at which I do not know how to do. Okay? In other words, I think the biggest assessment up there at the present time is Derringer's. They will be certainly carrying a good portion of that. They have 3 or 4 buildings up there with large assessments. So tonight, I would just like a resolution passed to borrow the money. And by January, we gotta figure out how we're gonna, okay?
But it's guaranteed that it will be paid for by the users of the sewer,
Only the users,
right?
or, well, it doesn't have to be a user.
Or property owners.
Property owners on the district, even if it's a vacant lot, they gotta pay something,
Okay.
okay? The vacant lot that I'm thinking of up there is very minuscule compared to some of the larger users. But it does enhance their property by having sewer go by, okay? Any questions on that? So if I could have a motion, a resolution, for a loan for $46,111.
I'd like to make a motion for the resolution of a loan in the amount of $46,111 over a period of 5 years at a 2.4% interest rate.
Thank you.
Second.
Any questions on that? We'll have a roll call vote on that also, it's money. Rick?
Aye.
Brian? Clark?
Aye.
Jason?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay. Okay. We have a request. I don't know how we wanna handle it. You got on Filion Drive, the little map?
Didn't see that.
Did you put those in the,
No.
No, you're the only one that has that.
I'm the only one that has this?
You want me to go make copies?
I can go make copies.
Make it in color.
I can do that.
Is that part of his income?
See, we should have got a big color copy.
Thank you. Okay, we can do a couple other things while we're waiting. Um, Alan, what do you got for the highway,
Oh, I don't have much, I'm just watching out for the storms.
they're coming.
I know. I just had that one thing. I got one guy out on disability. He's gonna be out for quite a while. And I got another guy going on vacation at Christmas time, and I was wondering, we never put money away for temporary help. We used to, but we kinda cut that out. Worst comes to worst that I need help in the wintertime, you know, between plowing snow and whatnot. I was wondering if the board would let me go, hire somebody, I don't have anybody in mind, but somebody to help out for major snowstorm or something.
Like an on-call type thing, like.
Yeah,
Like a sub.
yeah, substitute.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably never happen. But in case it doesn't, you know, I get a chance to,
Well, it's not those one-day storms that get us, it's those 3 or 4 day storms.
something happens, then I
When the
get
wind
caught.
blows and blows, and the guys are out there 12, 14 hours a day or more.
I think it's a good idea to have like a backup, basically.
You never know, you know, the guy, you know, they've been pretty reliable, the guy's been pretty reliable, but you happen to get a guy who's sick and.
Uh,
You know, the bottom line is we gotta keep the road clean, and whatever he has to do to get it done is. we have
It
to-
probably never happened,
Right.
it's just the idea right now, I'm a man short, and,
Well, I would ask the question, if you have any, if you find anybody you think might do the
yeah,
job.
if
keep
I
them-
come across them, but.
Okay. We normally, budget for 125 hours per year overtime for men, and I don't believe we've used that, or not
Well,
gonna be.
last year it came close,
Did it?
but it's, hopefully we don't get another year like that, but you never know, probably worse.
Starting early. So Alan spoke to me today about this, I did not see a problem with it. It's his discretion really, but I think he wanted us to know that it's a possibility, he'd like to do it.
Does he need a motion to
No,
support that? or just-
No, I don't believe so.
More informative?
Okay,
Just the idea is if something does come up, you know,
and
and
we,
I'm caught short.
seasonal employees or part-time employees are not included in the union contract. You can hire those without them. Okay. Anything else, Alan, or,
No, I'm good.
I guess we've got our sand in just about in time.
Yep.
Other than that, just diligently working on the roads.
Do it.
Everybody got this little map that I had, Sarah? You see that red spot, little angle down there, and I put an arrow next to it? I don't know who was here. Rick, you might have been.
I was.
You were? Clark, you must have been too, when we did this one,
I've seen this.
a year or two ago, a couple years ago, whenever it was. You see that little triangle piece near the arrow?
Yeah.
That's in the town. But you see where the town and the village line is? That property is being transferred to a new owner. That owner doesn't feel, he has not got water. Town water is not available to him. We'd have to go through a whole lot of properties to get it to him. I talked to the engineer. He said we could redraw the district lines, which is not feasible. It would cost us a lot of money. This property is paying 1/10 of an ADU right now. We have 3 of those out there, I believe. They don't feel they should pay that. I told her, the lady, I'd bring it to the board. So. Don't wanna set a precedent here, that's our problem. Okay? Nor can I,
I don't understand that in red it says new line. What does that new line represent?
Well,
You're talking about that little tiny triangle
yes,
that's on the bottom, which says town, right there, right?
you see where the town and,
Yeah, right below the 145.
Yeah,
okay,
what does that little line represent?
it is not feasible.
I'm not so sure, is it relevant? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think it is.
Well,
But this is a concern I shared with Larry this afternoon, is that I think if we start to just, you know, remove, even if it's only 1/10 of an EDU, you know, you're setting a precedent for other property owners. And I'm not so sure I agree with that.
We have done it before.
No.
The piece of property that is, right directly with the word town and the black arrow is, that's a lot that goes up to East Street, which is in the town?
Well, East Street is partly in the town and
Right.
partly in the village.
Right. But where it says town, the word town and the black arrow pointing to the little triangle.
I put the arrow there myself,
Right. But
okay?
that little triangle, it makes sense that that would be, part of that other lot. But,
it is.
It is.
It is.
no, it's part of that town lot. It
No.
says town. It's not, it goes into that.
This was laid out probably in
Oh, I see what
1800s
you're
or
saying.
I know.
I see what you're saying.
So then if we, like, what if the piece of property that has the word town on it, that faces East Street, that's paying an EDU charge, right?
A tenth of an EDU.
No, the whole lot itself.
Yes, the lot is probably,
Lot itself is.
unless it's a vacant lot, I'm not sure.
Okay.
If it's a vacant lot, it's might be paying a half ADU.
Okay, so then playing what if that little triangle was transferred to that full-sized lot, would that charge of
Well, you-
0.1 EDU assessed to that?
These people are not gonna give up a part of their land, are they?
No,
It's different owners, right?
Pardon?
They're different owners.
It's the grandson of the owner now, I believe.
Yeah, but this
Oh,
town,
Yes.
town, that's a different owner than what that
Yes,
triangle
right,
piece
yes.
is.
right,
yes.
is that a vacant lot, is that?
it's
I'm
just,
not sure whose it is.
I don't know either.
these
There's
streets
no
and
way
stuff
there's
were
no
probably
tax
laid
map
out in the
ID yet.
1800s,
Yeah.
before there was a village even.
Right.
The village was formed in 1870s, I believe, 73? Okay,
What's a 0.1% of the EDUs?
$11 per quarter, $11.34.
And I don't know what the tax map ID is, otherwise I'd look it up.
Right.
We don't know what tax map ID that is, do we?
So
Otherwise, we could look that up and just see what that's.
I do not know that.
East Street, you said, right?
Okay,
So it's a $44 a year charge for it.
yeah.
So
Well, yeah, I understand that, it's not a big loss to us, but if we lose, give on this one, we're gonna have to give on a whole bunch of them.
is this a question that the water board people should talk about? Is that not appropriate topic for them?
I think they're more with the administration,
All right,
with the
All right.
system and the
okay.
costs. I mean, this is more of our,
I think they're more about the setting of the policy
Yeah.
based upon the, yeah, so you've got,
It must be his.
there are 3 that are vacant lots there. One, I'm just looking here, so you've got, actually you got more than that. You've got 4 on East Street that are vacant lots, vacant land, and you've got one that is a barn.
Okay,
So, I think it's all part of that parcel. I don't think we can just, you know, remove the 1/10 of an EDU.
but that parcel's in the village, so the village could provide water to it.
Correct.
So they would never ask us to provide water.
The chances are, they wouldn't even have to go on that corner section to put water on that lot.
One of those landlocked lots that
Yep.
we aren't providing we aren't gonna be able to provide water to them, even if they wanted it. And if they did want water, they'd go to the village, because it's cheaper and it's already hooked up right there, right next to it.
According to the EFC, if you're in a district, you gotta pay something.
Well, if they have to pay something, then
Okay.
I can't see us changing it. You know, it would cost us a lot of money to change the district lines just for,
1/10 of an EDU.
No.
you know, maybe if we have a list in the future of properties that don't really belong
Maybe
in.
we could ask the village to annex that little corner.
I don't know, it's gotta be
No,
assessed
no.
at least $1,000.
Really?
Who
I don't
knows?
But you guys need, you know, the board needs to know I have that request. Okay. I don't see any.
So you don't need a motion on this?
Well,
You're just looking for,
I want a consensus of what we should do, if we're gonna do anything.
my own opinion is that we leave it, that parcel, or the portion of the parcel that is located inside of the town will continue to pay 1/10 of an EDU.
Okay.
So, I mean, have to make a motion, we're just not taking any action. It's currently assessed
This
at
wouldn't be
1/10.
something that the owner that could take to the zoning board.
Well, they can do anything they
They
want.
could.
I mean,
Could. And one of the criteria that is used for zoning board of appeals is that a hardship has been created by someone else other than the owner. And that's, on that basis, perhaps they would have an argument, but I don't see how that could come back and affect an EDU assessment.
Well, there's a transfer of property, but it's within the family.
But that has nothing to do with that.
Right.
does it?
So I don't know where the hardship is in terms of, unless they can express what that hardship might be.
The town has created a water district is detrimental to the property owner. They cannot use the water service.
Okay.
But anyhow, that's,
I think if we do it for one, we're gonna end up finding we gotta do it for others.
are there a lot of others?
Don't know that.
There's, I know of
Six.
3 others that I know of that pay 1/10 of an EDU.
There's about probably 5, 6, probably.
There's that many?
Yeah,
So,
so you start to,
I know 3 right off the top of my head. Okay?
As you said, it's required that if you're in the district, there must be some fee that,
Yes.
okay.
I can give you Corey Reed, he's the one that's engineer that's contacted the EFC.
So there's nobody sitting in our water district that gets a zero charge on, for the well, then, that's the
Well,
answer.
We had one here recently. The people went as far as getting a letter from DEC, said the land was not buildable. Wetlands, you know what I'm talking about, Alan?
Yep.
And we reduced that one, that'd be the 4th one I can think of, okay?
We reduced
We
to-
reduced that to 1/10 of an EDU. They got, and they agreed to that.
I think
Okay.
there's 5.
There's, okay,
I think there's
I'm
5.
thinking of, well, that would be the 5th one, yes, okay, you're right,
This was at 1/10 of one right
yes.
now? Can't go any further than that.
Send them a check every month. I got somebody else wants me to pay their water bill. Okay, no action taken then, okay? Okay, anybody, well, let's pay the bills. I'd like a motion to approve the bills, if somebody so desires.
I make a motion that we pay the bills listed as distributed.
The only thing I'd ask that be changed is on page 3, I think that's poor year true value.
Okay. I
Okay.
can,
Yeah.
Not about right.
1 year.
Other than that, I think that everything else is okay.
The spelling, Julia, that third one down.
Yeah, it's just
I did not catch that.
I caught it, but
Okay.
I didn't, I wasn't gonna say it. I know where it came from.
Okay,
I make the
the
motion.
typo.
did I have a motion on this?
I have a motion.
Thank you. Did I have a second?
I second it.
Thank you. Any questions on any of the monthly bills? If not, those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Uh, Okay, I have nothing else other than executive session. We need to speak pertaining to contract, and our attorney is waiting for our call this evening. Okay? So I'd like the motion to go into executive session pertaining to a contract.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session pertaining to a contract.
Thank you.
Second it.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
It is
Brian, you keep.
8:34.